Florida. Remember? They just passed a mandate mandating what? Slavery be taught in one context, that it benefited Black people. I thought, since this was done by way of a public vote by government officials, that you should know who these government officials are. Let's put them up full mass. State Board of Education members, the chair is Ben Gibson, who happens to be an attorney at law. Ben Gibson believes that slavery should be taught to middle schoolers in particular as a great benefit to Black people in America. Ben has been active in this organization since 2017. He was appointed twice by the current governor and confirmed by the Florida Senate. Also, Vice Chair Ryan Petty was appointed by Governor DeSantis, to the board in January 2020. Per Gibson's bio on the Department of Education site, it says, growing up, the son of 2 licensed mental health counselors, Ben is passionate about ensuring that the mental health needs of Florida students are a top priority. He believes that every student should have the same opportunity to learn, and parents should have meaningful educational choices and input regarding their child's education, regardless of where they live in Florida or their family's economic situation. He is a strong advocate for empowering parents to make the best educational choices for their children. Now, I do find it ironic that Black parents and white parents, frankly, and all parents who oppose the new mandate, why is it that their opposition of this new curriculum mandate, why is it that their proclamations are not heard? Why do they not get choice here? Why are they not able to eliminate the curriculum like 2 white parents were able to do as it relates to African American studies? There's more. Per Petty's bio on the Department of Education site, Ryan lost his daughter Elena in a tragic school shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day 2018. Elena was one of 17 students and teachers killed. Since the tragedy that took their daughter, Ryan and his wife Kelly have been actively involved in the public policy arena as advocates for improving school safety through early identification and intervention of potential threats. Let's put up the rest of the cast of characters. You're looking at 5 Karens who were appointed to the Florida Board of Education. You have left to right Monesia T. Brown, the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations for Walmart Incorporated. That's a regular job. Esther Bird is a legal assistant, okay? And Dr. Grazi Pazzo Christie is a radiologist. Bottom left to right, you have Kelly Garcia, who is a school teacher, and Marilyn Magar, former GOP member and Speaker pro tem of the Florida House of Representatives. Magar's stance on education was supporting more accountability and choice in the Florida education system. All board members are, in fact, parents. Esther Bird stirred controversy when she tweeted about the January 6th riot, the terrorist attack at the U.S. Capitol a year before her appointment. The tweet read, "In the coming civil wars." Did you hear me? In the coming civil wars, we the people versus the radical left, and we the people cleaning up the Republican Party. Team rosters are being filled. Every selected official in D.C. will pick one. There are only 2 teams, with us or against us. This individual is appointed to the Florida Board of Education. has openly called for civil war, has openly called for war against this very country. There's more. Meanwhile, the only teacher on the board, all right, let's put it up. Kelly Garcia was appointed to the State Board of Education by Governor DeSantis in March of 2023 after serving on the Board of Trustees of the Florida Virtual School. She is, in fact, a Florida certified teacher from Tampa with a decade of experience teaching in charter public and private schools. She has worked in education policy with Michelle Rhee's organization, Students First, where she collaborated with the Urban League and Foundation for Florida's Future. It is a damn shame, madam. You have given all of those organizations a bad name, and those that already had a bad name, you just gave them a worse one. Who's in charge of this? Put him up. Just Satan himself. The new history standards approved Wednesday were, as NBC South Florida reported, the updates to the African American history curriculum required by the controversial 2022 law DeSantis dubbed the Stop Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act. It's called the Stop WAOK Act, in short. As I have said before, these individuals are not playing checkers. They're playing chess. Democrats are still responding by and large as if this is one move and you make a counter move. They make another move and you make a counter move. This is not the game they are playing. Democrats need to wake up. They're playing a game of chess. The strategy involved. You have to remember, they started on these laws in 2020, 2021. These laws are stacking on top of each other, allowing for the next law to be given. But without the previous law, the new law would not be possible. Let me explain. Without the 2022 Stop WAOK Act, you do not have the legal framework to implement such a ridiculous mandate inside of public education. But with the Stop WAOK Act of 2022, you provide the perfect framework in order to present such an adverse educational policy.
So I was actually talking about this earlier on my stream, and it's just really interesting how Ron DeSantis, I mean, he's the governor, so ultimately the buck stops with him, but he's more and more becoming the face of everything that's wrong with Florida, and how since he's been in office, Florida has just been moving at light speed to do everything that could possibly be unpopular. I mean, some of the ahistorical points were like, well, you know, slavery taught African Americans some skills, and, you know, those carried into new generations, or that, well, there actually was a little bit of violence on the other side as well. Like, well, violence for what? To defend themselves, or the rebellions to try to free themselves? It's completely ridiculous for people who claim to not even want critical race theory to be in school, for them to go through this drastic of a length to rewrite history, especially too, people who do this really don't know that much about what they're trying to get at. Because the thing about slavery is it's much bigger than the United States. It's a human condition. It's part of what we do to one another, which is part of why it's so important to be involved in the political process, because while humans have very ugly and negative sides of us, we have very beautiful and good sides of us as well. We got to keep ourselves in check. But the more we learn about history, slavery rather, how it's functioned throughout history, how it's built the world throughout time, the more you understand us, ourselves, and the human condition. So pretending like slavery wasn't as gruesome as it was and always has been, as if Google doesn't exist, like what, you know, stop people in Florida from getting on Google, how far are you really going to take this? So,
yeah. And one of the realities is that it will likely connect to other states. Other states will look at the Florida model, and they will start to implement a similar model themselves. And remember, this is to stop the future problem solvers from knowing there is a problem to solve.